This time of the year, we are hanging on to a wonderful Indian summer, and I'm trying to squeeze out every possible ride I can. I know we have a winter that's just right around the corner. We have a table full of shop projects that we're going to be doing, but we want to ride today. Now, this time of year, there's a sound that I love. It's the guys with the leaf blowers blowing leaves. They're all over the neighborhood. Rutherford is the borough of trees. Right now, we're the borough of leaves. And I have got to do several things. I got to clean my pond, clean up some of my leaves around here. And then we're heading out on the open road to see if there's any leaves still up in the riding area. You never know. Listen to that. Why don't they buy electric? Mine is nice and quiet. No, it's not. I have the gas one. I still have to get that's the last of my big tools to convert over to electric. Basically for this reason, I get a headache still listening to those things. And sometime in our neighborhood, there's 4 of them going at the same time. It's unbelievable. Anyway, go electric. Keep the planet blue. Recently, I converted 2 of my gas-powered things, the weed whacker and the hedge trimmer, over to electric. The big lithium-ion batteries. They both work great. But I know those batteries don't last forever either, and sooner or later they're going to be $80 or $100 to replace them. So I keep them down in this. I'll never leave them out in the cold. I don't know if this is true because not a lot. All of the bikes except the MT-09 have lithium batteries. I wonder how bad it is to leave them out in the winter, out in the cold here. I got to do a little research. I'll let you know if I find out. I've heard it both ways, but I'm very skeptical because I got a lot of batteries and a lot of chargers. Now I have my battery tenders going religiously, but again, I'm wondering, about these. I'm thinking, but see, the problem is, if I took all the batteries out, then I'd never get to ride the bikes. So maybe I got to pay for the fact that I want these bikes always ready at my disposal at a moment's notice. I want them like weapons of war because I need that exercise. The biggest thing I need from these motorcycles is exercise, and I'm going to get some today. Well, it is really brisk out here this morning. We're still in the 30s, but we're going to be up in the 40s very soon. I'm sure those landscapers are cold, just as cold as I am. And this is why they have to blow those leaves. Listen to those guys. Must be a bunch of them over there. Clean them up, or we're going riding. Yeah, there are still some nice leaves around. This is the biggest Indian summer I've had in a long time. Well, nothing like extra coffee if it's this cold. It's colder than I thought it was. Really cold. These poor birds really get cold in the winter. We just gave them an extra loaf of bread. We croutonized it up. It's gone in 10 minutes. So I'm sitting out here having my coffee, trying to warm up. Look at that beautiful leaves. Rutherford is really, this time of year, it's really nice. Of course, it's not that nice when you gotta go rake those leaves up. Well, in this weather, it takes at least a few minutes before it comes off choke. And the final weather, we are up into the low 40s, ready to ride, ready to freeze. Now, to be honest, I'm really getting spoiled by the fact that a lot of the roads up here, if you look at the pavement is brand new. Not only no potholes, there's no salt, there's no just the leaves, a leaf here and there. Boy, having new pavement. I'm trying to stay on all the roads that have new pavement, but obviously you have to get off and get onto the back roads eventually. But boy, it's heavenly. Today, the Valentine saved my bacon. There's a new spot in all the years I've been riding this area. I've never seen them hiding. Well, the bogies were hiding there today, and I picked it up just in the nick of time with the Valentine. Absolutely priceless having that Valentine when you want to go for a sport bike ride. I see there's nobody swimming in Dolphin Lake today. Not a single person swimming. Maybe they'll be ice skating soon. I don't know. Now, the further north we ride from Rutherford, two things happen. The trees are already, more than half of them are naked trees. And the other thing, the temperature starts to drop. You can feel the temperature drop as you get up into the higher ground. It's scary. And in the lake area, a lot of the trees have already lost their leaves. There's only a sporadic tree here and there that's yellow or orange or red, but it's still a whole lot better because very soon, within a couple of weeks, all the trees will have lost their leaves. And then the other problem is a lot of them wind up in the street. This bike is so much fun to ride. It's got such nice low-end torque, very flexible engine, takes the gas beautifully, and the only thing I just really, and again I say it every time I ride the bike, I just, in my mind, I wish I had a quick shifter for this bike. Still some beautiful trees, but I don't know. We are on the countdown to having naked trees here pretty soon. Now, what's really a little funky about this whole thing, when you're riding this bike, it has a totally different sound than when you videotape it. It has a much nicer, more pleasant sound when you're sitting on the bike going through the gears than when you videotape it. It seems to lose some of that little crispness. I don't know why. And on these back roads, it's always good to, several times during each ride, remind myself that there is no traction control on this bike. And I'm so spoiled with that MT-09. You can't imagine how you get on another bike and you have to think, oh, yeah, we don't have traction control on this bike. Now the Michelin 2s on this bike, I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. They are wearing like iron. I can't imagine. Now they've been on there since I painted the wheels gold. That's really 2 full years of riding that they've been on the bike. Now, when I did this restoration, and it was a 500-hour restoration, I made several of the parts. I think there's 7 or 8 parts I made, and some from scratch. Carbon fiber, they're all on the video, all on my channel, of course, in detail too. And not one of them has the slightest little defect in it yet. Now, needless to say, and I know my friends all know this, I really enjoy the photography, still photography and video, and I always try to improve my skills with every ride. I'm always trying different things with the cameras, especially the video cameras, and it's just like an endless thing, chasing down the perfect picture or the perfect video. Now I remember all the testing I did when I mixed up the gold paint all the gold paint on this bike comes from the same batch. It's a perfect match. And all of the time I spent getting the gold exactly the way I wanted it, but it was worth it, and now I've got it forever. Now, as this day is unfolding, of course, I enjoy doing a little sport biking, a little cruising, pick some back roads to cruise on, try to find some new spots I haven't seen before, try to get some nice, unique photographs from my computer, and just enjoy the fact that this is an extended, it's an extended Indian summer. It's all free lunch. And sometimes on these back roads, it's just nice to shift back and just relax a little bit, take a little break, and when the roads open up, boy, there's nothing better than going through the gears. But it always pays to take a little relaxing break somewhere in the ride. Enjoy the scenery. Now, I always count myself as being a very lucky person. Lucky because I have learned to live and appreciate the things I already have and not spend too much time worrying about things I really can't either physically do or can't afford financially. But having this collection, small collection of bikes, and as they get older, I enjoy riding every one of them. And it's about this point in every ride, about 2/3 of the way through, or maybe more, I start to appreciate how comfortable all of these bikes are. I've worked on the ergonomics. I've worked on getting the bars exactly where I want them, and not leaving anything to chance. Having exactly the things that are going to make a long ride comfortable, a 3 or 4 hour ride. I also think what's special about this part of the country is the changing of the seasons. You never get bored. You don't get too locked into being too hot. And in this case, we're not even starting to get to the point where we're getting too cold. And it's always changing. You never get up and it's 2 days exactly like the 2 days before it. And I know there's times in the summer when I get back from a ride and I'm all sweaty and I think, oh, I just can't wait for some cooler weather. But then the fall comes. There's about 3 months of nice fall weather. And then we get to where we are right now, where we know winter is coming. Well, yet another beautiful fall day here in northern New Jersey is behind us. I've got some beautiful pictures to put onto my computer and share with my friends, and some video. Once I get this whole video edited out and share it, I'll feel like you've been on the ride with me. And I guess that's the whole point of the channel, one of the points, sharing this love and passion that we all have for motorcycling. But now it's time to get back to the farm. I need a super big hot cup of coffee. Make it 300 degrees if you can. Oh, it's cold out here. It was brutal. While the bride is brewing me up some coffee, I gotta wait for my nose to stop running. It's time to get out those electric gloves. I was doing last year, I kept them in the thing just in case my hands got cold when I didn't expect it. Well, I gotta start keeping them in the jibby bag. But I got to get acclimated to this if I want to be a ski champion. I'm going skiing. What a joke. Anyway, as cold as it was, and as I think overall, it's just better than just sitting home and watching television. And if there ever was a way to stay young, just buy old motorcycles, work on them, and ride them. So if you're new to the channel, we do try to ride or work on motorcycles every day and post a video of what our activity is. We try to share some of our little family adventures with the farm, with our grandson from time to time, and our puppy. But basically this is about motorcycling and about the passion that I personally have. And if you've watched so far into this video, you probably have the same passion too. And being able to share it conveniently on YouTube in a way that I think makes sense, and it's absolutely free to everybody. And if you like it, we hope we'll see you tomorrow. And if you don't like it, don't tell anybody. So if you enjoyed the video, I hope you share it with your friends. And of course, I hope, most of all, that we'll see you tomorrow. And thanks again for watching.